Now, it's 1 year since the release of Gran Turismo 7, and this game has changed an awful lot in this time. I remember when Gran Turismo 7 came out, it almost feels like a completely different game, but the most important question is it worth it now? Is it a much better game in 2023? Well, the answer is yes, sort of, but there are a lot of things I miss. For example, when Gran Turismo 7 first launched, I was live streaming it, making a lot of videos. I used to do this exact race here at Suzuka, and the spray was a lot more. So something they've done is they've turned down the spray, for example. Another thing that they lost is Gran Turismo 7 never really got 20 players in multiplayer. So I'm playing here with 20 players offline, but this was a big downgrade from Gran Turismo Sport. Gran Turismo Sport had 20 players in online mode and sport mode, and we didn't get that in Gran Turismo 7. Now, a huge thing that changed since the launch of Gran Turismo 7 is handling. This is arguably one of the most important things about any racing game. And, well, I need to explain to you first. Gran Turismo 7, when it first came out, was very controversial because the handling was very difficult. And I think they realised the handling was too difficult. Their intention basically was to make everyone into a tuner. So the cars stock, you couldn't drive them. They were just absolutely horrendous. I've got loads of guys on this channel just like trying to help people to tune the cars to make them drivable. And what Gran Turismo 7 or Clifton Digital decided to do was actually just basically tone down the handling massively. So the handling now is really, really, really simplistic. So this exact race I'm doing now, if I was doing it at launch, there would be actually more weather effects. It would probably look better. And also the handling would be... I mean, I'm driving right now with the sound off. I don't have my headphones on, so I can't hear a thing. You would not be able to do this. Whoa. In the original Gran Turismo 7 version. Okay, so these are some of the downsides. What about the good things they've added? Well, selling cars was something that I was asking for a long time, and they finally added it. So yes, now if you complete all the cafe menu books, you can sell cars, you can get those credits. Credits were really, really difficult to get hold of in Gran Turismo 7 at the beginning. They're not super easy now, but they've just given you more opportunities. Rather than grinding the same track, which is a big issue I had with the game, you now have the circuit experience guides offering a lot more money. You have the weekly time trials offering 2 million credits every time. Things like Sophie, and they did the Gran Turismo 7 25th anniversary stuff as well, where they just basically gave away credits for free. All that is really, really, really welcome, because without it, everyone's going into the pits here, let's follow them. Because without it, you just would not be able to actually experience a lot of what Gran Turismo has to offer. Now, the reality is that some of the cars in Gran Turismo 7 are still prohibitively expensive. The McLaren F1 is, what, 20 million credits in the game? I think that works out at about £150 worth of credits, and they still want to create this exclusivity within the game. But the reality is, I'm probably never going to own that car in Gran Turismo 7 ever. I'm never going to earn that amount of credits and have them spare, so it's a sad thing for me. All of the cars you can see here, I've bought, so in able to do this race, I've had to buy all these GT3 cars so I can run my own liveries on them. So, you know, it's kind of, it makes you more appreciative of earning credits, but I do think they went a little bit too hard in that direction. And am I happy with the way they corrected it? It's better than it was before, for sure. So now if I want to get some credits, I can just do a few time trials. There are other ways to do the races to get the credits, like for example the 1 hour races. I don't just have to go to the Tokyo Expressway grinding race, which was the only way back in the day. Now, other things that have improved is definitely the amount of content they have consistently added. Gran Turismo 7 now has Watkins Glen. It now has, whoa, Grand Valley Speedway. These absolutely incredible tracks that they've added, and very, 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 you know, welcome. They've also added consistently a lot of cars. The Skyline Super Silhouette, you can see in this video, has been added. They keep, you know, finally we have a Corvette C8, albeit not a GT3 or a GTE variant, so they've added that. There's the Skyline Super Silhouette up there. I remember when they added this car. Let's go up to it. When they added this car, I was excited because I wanted to drive this car. I looked at the history of the Super Silhouette series in Japan and how insane it was. I wanted to buy it. I saved up the credits and I went and I bought it, and I made a video on how it was to drive, and it's an awesome car to drive because it has an obscene turbo that takes literally 7 billion years to get up to speed. And that makes it a very interesting car to drive. You always have to be utterly precise with the gear changes. So that's a great thing they've added. Are they going to continue doing that? I hope so. They obviously have done a mad sort of content launch scheduled recently since about Christmas with the GT World Series. Now, the other big thing that makes Gran Turismo 7 a completely different game, arguably, from the one at launch, is of course PSVR. I spent a lot of time playing in PSVR. The whole game essentially is available in PSVR, and there are extra modes as well, like the VR showroom, like the VR replay thing as well. So they've added quite a lot with VR, and the fact that the whole game's playable is just absolutely insane. I think it is the most ambitious VR game to date. I'm not saying it's the best VR game to date, but I think it's the most ambitious. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. And by the way, if you're already subscribed, make sure you've hit that notification bell. Let me know if you didn't have it hit and you've done it right now so I can thank you in the comments. But the VR experience is, as a free update, is, well, frankly, absolutely insane that they've done that for free. Gran Turismo Sport wasn't really a game that did paid DLC. They did do the Lewis Hamilton challenge, and all of the cars were actually available as individual DLC, but they weren't. It wasn't a game that was going from DLC pack to DLC pack. Now, would we want to see this Gran Turismo 7 for them to take a step up with the content? For example, a modern GT3 pack or a modern hypercar pack with some of the tracks? I don't know. I mean, I don't want the player base to become split. The beautiful thing that I think, let's be honest, we all take for granted at the moment is that anyone can buy Gran Turismo 7 and actually at the moment on PS4 or PS5 and play together on the same tracks. Nothing is gatekept. Nothing is paywalled. You know, with the wrinkle about, you know, some stuff being very expensive, and, you know, all of the tracks you have to unlock, by the way, through individual progression, apart from the ones they had recently. But normally all of the tracks you have to unlock them by doing the cafe, which is an interesting way of doing it. So when you actually start the game, I don't think you can just drive at Suzuka, for example. I think you have to unlock it in single mode anyway. Gran Turismo 7 definitely has a weird sort of, you know, campaign structure. I really do think they need to think about updating their missions and stuff like that. I mean, it's such a sort of uncared for part of the game with a lot of potential. Now, the final thing I want to talk about, and this could be the huge thing that really transforms Gran Turismo 7 and ultimately kicks Forza into the dirt, because that's going to be the big battle in 2023, is of course the AI. I'm racing here in a single player game. I don't have my sound on, so I'm just kind of cruising, and I'm dominating the AI on the hardest setting in Equal Machinery. Now, they might have made some weird changes with the tyres, but again, you can sort of blame that on the AI. Sophie is an absolute game changer. Sophie is just phenomenal. It's the best AI you can get anywhere. Like, it's best AI in class. So Gran Turismo 7 has best AI in class. It arguably has best VR in class as well. Arguably has the best lighting, graphics, lighting definitely in class. But Sophie AI, if they can integrate that into the rest of the game, for me it just completely transforms the single player aspect. It makes single player viable. You can actually do grinding that's fun. My biggest issue, I got so much hate, by the way, on this channel for my position on grinding. My position on grinding, the reason why I sort of, I guess, lobbied against it, was that I didn't think it was fun to do the same race over and over again just to get credits, and then to get the credits to spend on doing something fun, because that meant the grinding bit wasn't fun. Now, I play a lot of FIFA, I play a lot of other games where I do grinding. That grinding is all part of the gameplay. But if Sophie can make the AI grinding fun in a single player, for me, that makes all of the single player stuff viable. And I'm all for that. I'm all for grinding and having fun. So they need to roll out Sophie and do that. But as I've gone through in this video and done my sort of 1 year review and stuff that's been improved, yes, the handling, I preferred the old handling. Yes, some of the weather effects have gone, as we started the video with. But the amount of stuff they've added for free is absolutely insane. I don't think there is a better deal in sim racing. And people won't say there's a sim racing game, but if you don't say it's a sim racing game, then what is it? You know, to me, it's a racing game. It's simulating racing to an extent. So to me, it is a sim racing game. But I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you've got any other thoughts on Gran Turismo 7 in the comments. And I will see you, hopefully, in the next video.